So, real quick, I decided to do a little follow-up, because I think some people were missing some things here and there, and there were some other things about this universe that I didn't get to talk a little bit in depth about. And I don't want to spoil a lot for this stuff. I don't want to spoil a lot for it, because we've actually got the first 3 story arcs planned out. Jason and I have the first 3 story arcs planned out for this shared animated universe we're doing. Well, I guess you could say / live action, because we do have the Power Rangers a part of it. But yeah, but I decided to go a little more in depth with it. So yeah. Also, if you're confused of what's going on, go check out my previous video, which I posted about an hour, 2 hour or so ago. So anyway, so in this animated shared universe, a few things. Some people asked, where are the villains? Well, there are villains, and they are spread out, and there is, like, one of the things we wanted to set up was the Society of Supervillains, which is an idea that the villain Black Hat from Villainous actually is the one who wants to put it together. Although you won't see, I don't think you'll see the Society of the Society of Supervillains right out the gate. I don't think you'll be seeing them, but it will be built up to. At some point or another. You may see the inklings in the first story, but you won't. I don't think you'll see it right out the gate. Anyway, but yeah, also Black Hat in this universe is also a main weapons manufacturer. He more or less sells to other big supervillains. He sells to a lot of them, and this is also how he keeps he hears all about all the shit that goes on between all the other factions. Like he sells to the Decepticons. He sometimes sells to Cobra. He sometimes sells to Mojo and all the other supervillains. And and when he hears inklings of like, oh, all these superheroes are starting to team up and there may be a big team going on, that's when he's like, that's a problem. That's bad for business. So he keeps his ear to the ground on a lot of these. He does keep his ear to the ground for a lot of stuff. Anyway, so there's a little bit of that about that. Now, in terms of other character stuff, there is what was I gonna say? There is also the Cosmic Council. The Cosmic Council is basically a bunch of cosmic characters who are essentially watching over, and usually when something happens, like a big event happens, these characters get together and talk about it. And talk about these big events or something, or they just gather to discuss their different world. Either they come from a different universe, or they're from the Earth, and their characters well known. Some of them include Oberon from Gargoyles, Yue from Avatar: The Last Airbender as the Moon Spirit, but the Avatar universe / Korra universe is in its own Earth. It has its own Earth, because like I said, this shared universe is part of a multiverse. And the Avatar universe is in that multiverse. So Yue's a part of it. Vector Prime is a part of this. There's like I said, Oberon from Gargoyles. You also have try to think of who else. Few other basically there's several characters. You'll see the full list when oh yeah, Clockwork from Danny Phantom's among them. But yeah, you'll see the full council when the story comes out. Speaking of other teams, there's also a secret team. Yes, that's right. We have our own in this shared universe. We actually have our own Illuminati from, of course, based off of the Marvel Universe Illuminati. And these guys came out, and these guys, like the Illuminati from Marvel, carried out secret missions. And in fact, one of their missions is actually going to be the big focal point of the first story, and also have an effect on the continuity from here on out. It's going to, we're going right out the gate with something big, and I don't want to spoil it, because it's kind of like, because how we're building up this first story to kick off this shared universe is very much like the DC Rebirth one-shot that kicked off DC Rebirth. And like in that story, something is coming. Much like how Dr. Manhattan showed up at the end of Rebirth, something is coming to this universe and is going to, already be a major shakeup. But I don't want to spoil it. So anyway, So the Illuminati, going back to the Illuminati in here, the Illuminati in this storyline is made up of Zordon, Optimus Prime, Rose Quartz, Moon Butterfly, Star's mother, Ozpin from, of course, RWBY, because RWBY is part of this part of the multiverse. And I'm forgetting the last one. Shit. I'm forgetting the last member. Oh yeah, Ford. How can I forget? Yeah, Ford from Gravity Falls. So Ford, Zordon, Optimus Prime, Rose, Moon, and Ozpin and Zordon are the Illuminati. And of course, this takes place before, all their missions kind of took place before Rose died and, Moon went MIA. So, yeah. And their actions are what are going to affect this first story. Because this is going to be really more like the sins of the past are going to affect the future. So be prepared for that. Now, the other, in terms of other things in here, is that there is going to be a romance that Jason and I kind of set on because we were like, yeah, this is a nice little crossover pairing. Let's put it in here. And that is, we are actually going to have a crossover pairing between Randy Cunningham and Alia from Ladybug, who at this time is Reina Rouge. But what's interesting to note is that at this time, neither Randy nor Alia know each other's secret identities. It's kind of like Spider-Man and Black Cat, where they just kind of date, they're dating as the Ninja and Reina Rouge. So that's going to be a lot of fun to really explore that romance throughout this timeline. So there's that. So there is that as well. In terms of cosmic stuff, there is going to be some... We did something, and I'm surprised Jason let me get away with this. I proposed something for the cosmic half, because Stormhawks in the main universe is a distant planet. It's not its own universe, it's a distant planet. And we did two things with Stormhawks that really was like, yeah, let's do that, because why not? And I don't want to spoil either of them, because it's like, oh, you guys went there. I really want them to be like, you guys went there. But it very much gives credence to other things that are now a part of this universe. So yeah. Now, like I said, there are some anime which is a part of this universe. There are some anime that are a part of this universe. But the ones because Jason, these are, and I know some people have been asking, well, what about shows like this, this, and this? Voltron is its own universe. Voltron Legendary Defender is it's part of the multiverse. It's going to be part of its own Earth. But it is in that multiverse. And we can do multiverse stuff because thanks to like Pen Zero, Part-Time Hero, and Star vs. The Force of Evil, which are part of the main Earth, so it allows us to get into the multiverse. And we did actually plan of a big multiverse story as well. But the main thing with this is that some animes are part of the main universe, and like I said before, those are Sailor Moon, Black Lagoon, and Hellsing. And yeah. Now, another thing that's interesting to point out is that the moon, Jason actually brought up that, the moon is pretty crowded in this shared universe, because there's the moon base, there's Zed and Rita's castle, and Silver Millennium, the city from Sailor Moon, the city Princess Serenity ruled over. And we kind of thought of this idea of, like, it's kind of, all of those places exist on there, but they don't really interact with one another, because, Silver Millennium is it's kind of like a magic Wakanda, where the magic around the city of around Silver Millennium is, it's shrouded in magic that not even Zed or Rita can detect, or even if they could, they couldn't break through if they tried. And the Homeworld base that was once Pink Diamond's base of operations is mostly left untouched by Zed and Rita, because they're like, yeah, we don't want to we don't want to draw the attention of... We really do not want to draw the attention of the Diamonds. We don't want to, we're dealing with the Power Rangers. We don't need the Diamond Authority coming down on us. And besides, it's a run. They also think since it's so run down, they're like, there's nothing in here that could be any value of us. The Gem War it's a relic of an old war. Why do we need that? We don't need this shit. So that's more of the main reason, that they think it's just a hunk of junk that they don't bother with. So there you go. They kind of explain, and they're not like next to each other. They're all kind of spread out across the moon. So there's that. There's also, some, what else did I want to say? Like I said, the war between, the Gem Civil War did happen thousands of years ago. So yeah, that did take place. There was also of course, the Autobots and Decepticons were in hibernation at the time. But what else? I'm trying, because I think I forgot something. I forgot something I wanted to mention real quick, and now it's bugging me. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's a little more about the universe. I know it sounds crowded. I know it sounds. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that there was one other anime, but it's not part of the main Earth. It's in its own universe, and that is the My Hero Academia Earth. That's part of the multiverse. We've established that that's part of the multiverse. So there is, My Hero Academia is part of the multiverse, but not part of the main universe. See, that was the thing when we were talking about when Jason and I were doing. We're talking about this shared universe. We were talking about, okay, which is multiverse and which is not multiverse. And again, thanks to Pen Zero and Star Versus, we can bring characters from the multiverse into the main Earth and do stuff with that, or go to their Earths as well. So that was kind of the beauty of it, is that we could go out and do shit with that, and take that as you will. So that was really the beauty of it, that we could actually do multiverse stuff and it would make sense. But yeah, the shared Earth is not so much crowded as it is like everything has its own space. Like some of the superheroes are global. Like I said, Code Lyoko and Ladybug are in France. You've got Hellsing in Britain. You've got a lot of the superheroes in different cities in America. You've also that's what I like, is that it's very spread out. Like not everyone is in New York. There's only 3 people in New York. Well, 3. There's 2 groups and 1 hero. It's the Gargoyles, the Ninja Turtles, and Jake Long. Those are the only heroes that live in New York, where everyone else is very much spread out throughout the rest of the United States. Very much like if it was Marvel, everyone would be in New York. But thankfully, there's tons of. It's very much like DC, where everyone has their own city, and there are other superheroes across the globe. And some superheroes are, some hero teams are very much global. And that's the thing, is that our universe's S.H.I.E.L.D., the Global Justice Network from Kim Possible, has this idea to more or less build an organized team of superheroes to, combat all these growing threats. Because now the world is getting bigger with all these metahumans. There's also an equal amount of threats out in the world that need to be better combated. So the GJN's director, Dr. Betty director, is very much like, maybe we can get metahumans to work together and fight as a united force. Maybe that can be the thing. And that was kind of the idea, really. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much a little more in-depth with it. Once again, I hope you all enjoyed this. This is... we're kind of backed up right now with a few other things, and some trouble here and there. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this fanfiction because it was just so much fun. And I didn't even want to spoil... There are some stuff in here that I don't even want to spoil. Because like I said, this one-shot's going to kick off something very big right out the gate, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Because it's going to be... Woo boy! Anyway... So, yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. Just comment below, let me know what you guys think of this. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I said that twice, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will see you guys later.